Hello, we're going to be doing the ear today. So I have this model and another ear model. And we'll begin with features that are on the outer ear. So this is the outer ear, what we think of as the ear. All right, we'll begin, and I'm going to show you two different ears. So we'll begin with the helix. This is that whole outside kind of curve is called the helix. And then the fossa is always an indentation, right? The fossa is kind of right where you could stick your finger in there. That's the scaphoid fossa. And then in the front, this is another fossa. This is called the triangular fossa. And then this is the helix I said on the outside. The next bump here, this is the antihelix. So let me show you on this kind of bigger ear. All right, so here we have the helix on the outside. This is the antihelix, the middle kind of next bump. This is the scaphoid fossa, so you can kind of feel that indentation there. And this is, here you can see a little more, it's like the triangular fossa. All right. Then this is the crus of the helix. So the helix kind of goes around, and then here where it turns in, this part right here is called the crus of the helix. All right, then we're going to have the cymba, which is, there's kind of, the crus of the indentation divides this top part, which is called the cymba, from the bottom part, which is the cave. The cave is kind of this big opening, and when you go into the cave, that's the external auditory meatus, right? So actually going in. But just kind of this depression here, this fossa too in a way, or this depression is the cave. This one is the cymba, and together, sometimes you talk about both of these kind of inner indentations as being the concha, all right? Then the tragus is this little kind of flap right here. Here's the tragus. On the opposite side of it here is the antitragus. So we have tragus, antitragus, and then in between them, there's kind of an indentation that's the intertragal incisor. Intertragal incisor. And then at the bottom is the lobe, the earlobe, sometimes called the lobule. Okay, and then we get the other ear. So here we have, let's see, what can we do? This earlobe isn't very good, but the earlobe's down at the bottom. Together, these 2 points here are the concha. The top kind of indentation is considered the cymba, and the bottom one that goes kind of is going to be heading into the external auditory meatus is the cave. Together they're called the concha. This is the crus, so the helix goes around, and then where it kind of moves in, that's the crus of the helix. It's dividing the cymba from the cave. Let's see what else. Oh, we did the tragus. Is this here, that little flap right on your ear. The antitragus is the one on the back, kind of opposite, and then in between is the intertragal incisor. All right, so that's all the parts of the outer ear. This whole structure is called the pinna. So that whole outer ear, this whole what we think of as the ear, is the pinna. And then the external auditory meatus would be the kind of hole going down into here. All right. So if we were looking on this model, right, we would say here's the external auditory meatus. This meatus is like a tube, so this is the canal of the external auditory meatus going down here. Okay, I'll stop there.